how would you describe the challenge of like defending Nathan McKinnon with the way he's been going here?
No, obviously one of the best players in the league. So it's a good challenge for us, but at the same time, I think as a player you kind look to get that challenge, and it's just about skating and having a good stick, and obviously defend as a unit of 5 guys. I think that helps too, but yeah, I think it's going to be important that we come out and skate and try to stay out of the box.
How important was it for you guys to have that bounce back game the other night before going into a game like this?
No, I think it's always important to have that bounce back game, and we know that we have a great group of players, great group of guys in there, and it's just a matter of bringing that every single night. And it's a tough league, I get it. You're gonna have nights off, but it's just a matter of bouncing back quick. So we can have that 3 or 4 games that we're not playing up to our standards. So I think that was a good game overall. I think getting a win and the way that we competed and played, I think that was good one.
Is there a way to carry that momentum from game to game? Like, do you believe in that? That you can just take what you did there and do it again?
Yeah, I think we have shown that over the course of this season for the most part. I think it's been early on we found ways to win, and we found ways that made us successful. And I think we have been looking to get back to that. I felt like we fell off a little bit. We had 5, 6, 7 games that we felt like we didn't play the way we wanted. So I think it's important that we get back to playing the way that we're supposed to, and we know that if we play that way, we're going to be successful. So I think that's kind of what we're looking towards, and I feel for the most part this year we have been successful playing that way. So it's just a matter of getting back to playing that way.
What makes Matthews and Marner a good combination defensively? Obviously we focus on the points and the scoring, but what have you noticed about their ability to negate other teams' top players?
No, I think obviously it's easy to look at players like that. Oh, they put up a lot of points, but what you don't see, like as a player, you see it every day. I think they put in a lot of work, take a lot of pride in defending and playing against other teams' top lines. So I really like how competitive they are and what they bring every single day. I think they want to win. They want this team to do good, and that's what you need from your top players. So I shouldn't say surprised, but I'm super excited the way they compete and the way they carry themselves every single day in practice or games. So it's fun to see.
As somebody that plays the same position, defense, have you in your time in the league ever seen somebody with the God-given talent that Cale Makar has, that he's able to do some of the things he's able to do?
No, it's impressive. Probably shouldn't pump his tires too much before tonight, but it's impressive, just the way he moves. And I think him and Quinn in Vancouver, I think they kind of move the same way a little bit, and it's you wish you had that in your game a little bit more, I guess. But no, it's good, just the way he passed the puck, skate, and even create a lot of chances for himself, just moving his feet. So I think a lot of defensemen look the way he plays the game and moves the puck. So it's another good challenge for us to kind of keep the puck away from him.
During this last stretch, how have you felt you've gelled and played with Simon Benoit?
No, I think going back early in the season, I feel like I've been playing with everybody on the back end, and I think that helps now going into end of the year here. I think he's a guy that plays hard and keeps it simple, and I feel like yeah, we've been playing some good hockey together. Just trying to read off each other a little bit and keep it simple and defend hard. That's kind of what we were talking about. And if we can chip in a point here and there, that's just a plus. And he's on a hot streak right now. I think he's been good with the puck lately, and been scoring a goal and a couple apples. So he's feeling good.
With Makar, he's got a chance at 30 goals this season. Like, that's what he's pacing for, which is really rare for a defenseman. You had a 23-goal season. Like, what do you remember about that year and how hard it is to rack up those types of goals as a defenseman?
Yeah, no, it's not easy. Obviously, from the back end, but I think going back to the way he's moving his feet and kind of creating that lane up top, and sometimes it's just about shooting the puck too. And when you kind of get into that flow and you get that confidence, obviously that helps. But yeah, it's impressive.
John, it's a long year, a lot of travel, a lot of time away from home. What was that like for you yesterday after practice? Have some time on the ice here with your boys?
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, I think it's our only practice day here at Scotiabank all year, so cool to get them out on the big rink and take it all in and spend some time with them. So they've taken to the game, so it's been a lot of fun sharing it with them all season long and to get some moments like that, so I really enjoyed it.
John, when you were 3 years old, could you pick the top corner like your kid was like?
I don't think so. So they're, they really enjoy it. It's all day, every day throughout the hockey season. Obviously, having me around, they can't get away from it in general. So, but like I said, they've taken to it, and it's been a lot of fun just watching them grow as little kids and enjoy the game, and to be able to share with them is always really special. I've talked about that to have that bond, obviously, as a parent, father, son, or with my daughter as well, and for them to see what I do and what I love to do every day, and they've taken to themselves. It's great to share it with them.
John, as we wake up this morning, I think 6 Canadian teams are in a playoff spot, and the 7th is just on the outside looking in. What do you make of that as a fan of the game?
Well, certainly in Canada, obviously we know the passion for the sport and how much it's part of our fabric and our culture. So I got to assume all those fan bases really excited about the prospect of their own team, but certainly across the country, a lot of the Canadian teams have an opportunity to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So really exciting. I would think that all those fan bases obviously every year are desperate for it, hungry for it, and have an incredible passion for it. And we know what the game means across the country. So it's great. For ourselves, we're just focused on here in Toronto and what we got to do, and getting back there, and obviously wanting to do something special as a group and for our fan base and for the city. So, it'll be interesting how it all shakes out.
John, what do you think of the way that Mitch has handled the increase in the white noise a bit lately here?
Yeah, he's been great. I think the easiest part, probably when there's a lot of noise around things, is when you just can go out there and put your gear on and play and do what you've done your whole life, and something that you love to do. You obviously tremendous competitiveness, desire, all those sorts of things to make it to this level and to play for this club, and certainly being from the GTA, from the city, I know how much he enjoys it and appreciates it. And just with the locker room, the support around it's a very tight-knit room. It's a brotherhood in a lot of ways, and how we all are always there supporting each other, and just the enjoyment of going out there, going through the daily grind and everything you do to get ready to play. And then once you're in competition, what that means, you just engulf yourself in that. And I think that's what he's done and stuck with, and try not to focus on everything else that can swirl around.
Is that what helped you get through that last year on the island, that sort of attitude?
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's like, since I was a kid, I just enjoyed going on and playing the game, and the way I personally felt when I was, getting started at 5, 6 years old, and all the way up through minor hockey, junior hockey, and becoming a professional, the enjoyment and excitement of putting my gear on and going to play the game is always been the same. And that's that becomes so ingrained that that becomes the best and easiest part, especially when there's a lot of other things going on. When you're a professional at this level and the amount of attention, you know, the things that come with that, you just kind of, I think, fall back on just the game itself and what makes it great and your enjoyment for that and the type of player that you are.
How well do you know Gabriel Landeskog, and could you even imagine what it'd be like trying to come back to the game after almost 3 years since your last game?
Yeah, I don't know Gabe extremely well, but I've bumped into him from time to time. I was actually on the same flight as him going to Tyson Berry's wedding a couple summers ago and talking about his rehab and everything he was going through. And it's obviously been a real challenge for him, but I think a lot of credit. He's continuing to stick with it and doing everything he can to find a way, understanding it's a lot of ups and downs, clearly, but is extremely motivated from talking to him and a strong belief from him to make it back and to play again. So I can't imagine how difficult it's been to go, is it 3 years now? It's pretty crazy, but he's obviously doing everything he can, and obviously a great leader, a great player, and you always hope to see guys make it through difficult times or challenges like that.
What has stood out to you about Nathan MacKinnon and the run he is on and the challenge that he presents?
Yeah, I think whether it's this year or obviously the accolades he earned last season and what he's become, I think, in the game and the type of player that he is, he's just seemed to a number of years ago just really, I think, find something about himself that's just allowed him to take off to be one of the best players in the world and just be so dynamic and to be so hard to play against and difficult to defend and one of the toughest challenges you're going to face in the game. He's an extremely competitive guy from being around him a little bit and getting to know him and how hard he works, how diligent he is about his preparation and his craft and how great he wants to be. So playing against a player like that at this level, the type of player that he is always a lot of fun and a great challenge, and got to be at your best.
Yesterday, Craig talked about how Austin sort of talked the talk and walked the walk in terms of leading you guys with 2 goals the other night. What have you noticed about his leadership as of late?
Yeah, I think certainly, obviously coming into the season and him becoming the captain, something new for him and how he's continued to grow and to evolve throughout his time here, but then over the course of this season and having the responsibility and the way he's carried himself, I think over the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal, and certainly wants to be that driving force and set that example and play at a very, very high level and obviously contribute in so many different areas. And obviously him putting the puck in the net is as good as anyone in the world at that, but and did it in a huge way for us the other night. But it's also his ability to win faceoffs, play on the penalty kill, his competitive level on pucks, winning battles, things like that, how he uses his body. Those are things that accumulate throughout a 60-minute game that are just extremely impressive and set a tremendous example for the group and pull everyone along.
Any special meaning to the socks?
These are for Pistol Pete for Down Syndrome Day on Friday, so we're obviously on the road, so it's for him. We have him throughout the locker room and support him and what he means to our team. So.
Do you feel like Monday's game was sort of a return to getting back to the north-south principles you've been preaching all year?
Can you repeat that, sorry?
Do you feel like Monday's win was sort of a reflection of, you've talked about north-south hockey all
Yeah.
year. Do you feel like you guys got a
No,
sense of that?
definitely. I think if you look at the first period and just the predictability and the directness of, going south, going north, putting pucks at the net, recovering them, and, not hesitating, moving it quick, shooting it again, recovering. We were on our toes, and, we won a lot of loose puck recoveries, a lot of shot attempts. We didn't, we went back with the puck, we moved it up, got it going north, and we got to do the same thing tonight.
What's the biggest adjustment you have to make compared to the game you played in Denver against these guys?
Well, I look back to second period, and that's a good second period team, Colorado, as we are too. But I thought they three-quarter iced us in that period and put us on our heels for the period, you know, and that's draining. That takes a lot of energy out of you for the third, and I didn't feel we had enough juice in the third. You know, I know we had the lead, but we lost it, and you know, we got to do a better job of that tonight. And they do it. They're good at it, and we got to make sure that we're doing a better job of that.
You guys reached 40 wins the other night. How much would you say is what you brought? How much is that what you have to work with here that's made it?
Well, we got good players, great players, you know, a lot of good players. I think really growing as a team, playing a real good team game, you know, defensively and, you know, offensively too. Power plays coming, it's clicking. You know, our PK, you know, has slid a little bit, but it's been pretty steady all year, not the last month. But, you know, we got to keep playing the team game. The checking side of things is really important. We know that. And just the predictability of how we want to play. I think, you know, as a coaching staff, I think we brought in the predictability of how we want to play the game, the checking side of things. And, you know, these guys, they've scored goals pretty much their whole careers. So they know how to score goals.
When you talked about
unlike me. Eddie
about
scored a lot of goals too.
You talk about being a good second period team. In your experience, is a good second period team a good team? Like, do you need those good second periods to put it?
Well, I think second periods are really important. I think it sets you up for the third. If you looked at our season as a whole, I think if you looked, we've scored the most goals in the second period out of any period. And going into the thirds, we got leads all the time, and we've done a great job of hanging on to leads and finishing games out. So, you know, for me, second periods are important, obviously. Puts you in a good spot in the third, but it's the mindset in the second period. It's playing fast, getting pucks up, catching people in bad line changes, you know, all those types of things, you know, really go towards having a good second period.
What's the key to slowing down McKinnon?
Well, I don't know, but if you find out before the game, you can let me know. You just got to try to stay on top of them the best you can. It's just like playing McDavid, right? They got great speed and they're competitive guys with tons of skill. You know, it's about trying to slow them down, picking them up in the neutral zone, trying to get on top of them, deny them the puck as much as possible, take time and space. It's all the same things that every coach says.
Well, follow up on that. How do you do it with McCarr? And he's coming from the back end.
Probably even more difficult. He's obviously a great player, and again, it's a lot of the same things. Just trying to, you know, get above him as much as you can, and trying to make him work in his own zone. I think, you know, tonight we got to make this team play in their own end as much as possible, and then it's important when that's happening that we can get some good line changes and get fresh people on the ice, and make them extend their shifts as much as possible.
You faced Gabriel Landeskog a bunch in the Central. What do you make of this guy trying to come back and play after almost 3 years rehab?
Yeah, I mean, he was a great player. You know, big guy, hard to handle, great net front guy, power forward. Did a lot of things for Colorado, obviously, and he's a competitive guy. He loves the game, and there's a reason that, you know, he wore the C. You know, he's a leader, but he obviously doesn't want to give up, and he wants to keep trying to battle through it and get back and play and help out the team.
Schedule jams up a bit, but flip side, you probably get some guys who've been sitting into the lineup.
Oh, with the back-to-backs coming up, yeah, it's a good opportunity. We can get a couple guys, fresh guys in there. We'll see how it goes tonight and see where the minutes are at, and, you know, the game in general.
So Lars tonight?
No, Wool.
Any special reason why he got this one, Wool, of the back-to-back?
I liked his last two games, so gonna go with him again tonight.
It looks like this is maybe the lightly attended morning skate we've seen optional this season. Is that from the medical staff, or is that just a reflection of the schedule?
I think it's a reflection of the schedule, and we skated yesterday. We had a skate yesterday, so I can see why back-to-back games coming up that there's not many guys going out on the ice.